Normally, in every Saturday we have this extra class session, right? Then it is repeated in every Sunday afternoon. No need to ask, every day you have that session, right? So even if I am unable to come, then you will have it. For example, yesterday you had no. I came late, right? No need to ask, right? Until I inform you, the session will continue, right? Then the papers actually, I didn't tell you time to come. Now they have printed the paper actually. They have printed the paper and I send a paper for them. So next week you can come at any time. Saturday morning. So let me know. Just send me a SMS that I have got my number. No? Just send me a SMS that I am coming on that time. Then maybe 2-hour paper I have sent for them. You say you can start from Saturday morning. Saturday morning, 8 o'clock. You can come up to 12 o'clock morning. Then Sunday also you can write after this class. If you have already covered the Saturday sessions, then no need to stay in the afternoon. No? So after this class you can write the paper. Then after 2:30 I can check your paper, right? So next week you can come, right? Just let me know you are coming, then right? So I will come, right? Then the next week I will come. Sometime I may not be coming in the first week of October, right? I will confirm you in the next week. If so, we will not have the Saturday afternoon session, but Sunday morning session we will have as it is. A video session will be there, right? Next week I will confirm you, right? Because I have to participate that corporate plan session. This outside 2-day workshop, right? In the organizations. So we'll let you know that one, right? Right. Then we'll move to another questions. Look at October 2005 paper. October 2005 paper, question number 5. October 2005, question number 5, part B. Look at the part B of question number 5. Describe how Kaplan Balance Scorecard offers an improved technique for measuring company performance. Explain each of the 4 perspectives of the Balance Scorecard, citing indicators. 10 marks. You'll end up with similar answer, no? Here. But actually, this seems to be a combination of the previous question, no? He say that this is a better techniques, no? Then you have to say why this is a better techniques. You have to provide the weaknesses of the financial indicators, no? So after that, you have to provide indicators under each perspective. That can be handled, no? Similar to the previous questions. Then there is a questions. I think October 2008. Yes, October 2008. Question number 4, part B. Question number 4, part B. October 2008, question number 4, part B. Describe how Kaplan Balance Scorecard offers an improved techniques for measuring company performance. Explain each of the four perspectives of the BSc and cite relevant indicators against each perspective. Again same. Same is repeated. Then look at the part C of the same questions. In the previous question also part C cover this. Look at this. Discuss whether the BSc is relevant for public sector organization. Justify your answer. This is the second time it has been tested. In October 2005 question also the C part cover this. This was again tested in a later paper. In a later paper this was tested I think December 2011 paper. December 2011 paper. Question number 4. December 2011 question number 4. Part D. December 2011 question number 4 part D. Discuss whether the balance scorecard is relevant for public sector organization. Justify your answer. How many marks? 7 marks. Early two time he allocated only 2 marks. But this time he has increased the marks because of the poor performance of the students in previous papers. That's why he has increased the marks allocated here. Right. So I will allow you 10 minutes. Think and try to develop an answer. So many people have done a mistake. The mistake is balance, not balance. D should be there, right? හුඟක් අය මම දැක්කා balance කියන වචනේ use කරන්නේ. Balance when you're writing. Right, time is enough. When I went through most of your answers, right, answer is not adequate for the requirement. You have provided lot of information, but not relevant information. At the same time, I saw a lot of issues actually. You are right. ලියන්න නැතුව තමන්ගේ improve වෙන්නේ නැහැ. But at the same time, හැමදාම වැරදි විදිහට ලියනවා නම් ඒ වැරදි දේ විදිහට තමයි ලියවෙන්නේ තමන් හැමදාම. When you are writing, actually it improve you, but if you are doing some mistake, if someone is not correcting that, forever you make that mistakes. Therefore, it is better if you can, right, get assistance from someone who know English. For example, in your organization context, there may be someone, or in your academic context, there may be someone who know English well, right? Show your answers and get the clarifications. Or it is always better to allocate like 30 to 45 minutes in a day to improve your English, right? So especially tenses like that, you must read. On the other hand, when you are reading, actually you see word and then you look at about the correct letters, the spellings, and that automatically get into your eyes, right? Then grammatical patterns, you can learn grammatical patterns. Now, for example, I say BSc can use, right? BSc can use. Normally it should be present in the passive form, no? BSc can be used. That come from your practice. ඒකට පුළුවන් තරම් ලියන්න ඕනේ නේ. ලියලා තමන්ගේ අඩුපාඩු තියෙනවා හදා ගන්න ඕනේ. So try to make improvement to your English. So examiners will not cut your marks. But what can happen actually? There are few things. The things that you are communicating, right, are very difficult to understand for the examiner, then automatically you will lose marks. Things like BSc can use, that can be understandable. That is not an issue. But still that is a problem for you, because you know something wrongly. You continue the same pattern in the future also. One day when you qualify chartered accountant and go to the industry, when you do the same mistake, people will laugh at you. As a chartered accountant, you can't do the mistake. Now no one is laughing at you because you are students and you are learning, right? So therefore, it is important to have a program to improve your English. There's never end in improving English. I'm not going to say I know English. No, I'm in front in English. So you have just started your careers, right? Your career. So therefore, you have to do a lot of improvement in your English. ටිකක් ફોકස් කරන්න ඒරියා ගැන. දවසට උගලන් පැය භාගයක් වෙන් කරන්න බෑනේ. දැන් මම දැකලා තියෙන බ්‍රේක් එකේ මම නිකන් එද්දි බැක්කෝ ෆෝන් එකේ හුඟක් අයින්නේ එක්ක ගේම් එකක් ගහනවා. එක්ක Facebook එකේ. එක්ක මොනවා ගොසිප් සයිට් එකක ඉන්නේ. මම මේ ඕනකයින් බලන්න එද්දි නිකන් පේනවනේ මෙහෙම. දැන් ඕගොල්ලන්ට පැය භාගයක් හදාගන්න බෑ කියන එක මම පිළිගන්නේ නැහැ. You can find 30 minutes for that purpose. So have a program on that. නැත්නම් ඔය එක්සිබිෂන් එකට යන්න අර ඉංග්‍රීසි පොතක් ගන්න ලොකු දැන් අර එක්සිබිෂන් එක තියෙනවනේ. දැන් එක්සිබිෂන් ගියාට ගන්න එක්කෝ වෙන එක්කෝ දේවල් තමයි ගන්නෙ. මොනවා නව කතාවක් දැක්කොත් නේ. තාම ඉන්ට්‍රෙස්ට් එක තියෙනවා සමහරවිට I have seen that one. I think පොඩ්ඩක් පොඩි ඉංග්‍රීසි බුක් එකක් අරගෙන ග්‍රැමටිකලි ටික ඉගෙන ගන්න. ඇප්ලිකේෂන් තියෙන එකක් ගන්න පුළුවන් වැඩිය හොඳ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ ලෙවල් එකේ. ග්‍රැමර් එක්කම ඇප්ලිකේෂන් එක. ඇප්ලිකේෂන් there are some English book which tell about the application. There are some errors people can make, then you can recognize. Sometimes you may perform the same mistakes, then you can avoid that one in the future. Think about that one also, right? Then someone is asking if someone is unable to participate for the paper class on Saturday or Sunday, what I can do. You can write it and submit to me at home. There is no issue at all. Right? The ultimate objective is write the paper. Location will not be a matter. Right? Right. So look at the questions. Yeah, the questions are right. Discuss whether the balance scorecard is relevant for public sector organizations. Justify your answer. What is public sector organizations? Government sector. Yes. If you look at about the organization sector wise, we can identify two type of organization: private sector and public sector. Private sector organizations are owned by private individuals. Public sector is owned by government or government related organizations. Here examiner focused on government owned organizations. He is asking whether balance scorecard is applicable for them. What do you think? First of all, you have to think what are the different type of government sector organizations. That should be the starting point. What is the nature of government sector organizations? You remember in early days you have learned there are two types of organization. One is profit-oriented organization or profit-oriented businesses. Other one is social welfare organizations. Am I correct? You remember no? ලාභ පරමාර්ථයෙන් පවත්වාගෙන ව්‍යාපාර ලාභ නොවන ව්‍යාපාර නැත්නම් සමාජ උපසාධනෙන් පවත්වාගෙන ව්‍යාපාර. You learn that category in your early days. If you look at the government sector organizations, that should be the starting point. If you look at the government sector organization, they have both profit-oriented businesses plus social welfare organizations. Most of government sector organizations are social welfare organizations. They have not been established for earning profit. So when you are analyzing, you have to start from that. What I have seen is ignore that fact, talk only about social welfare aspect. India also, the practical use was not there. For example, government have so many profit-oriented businesses. Sri Lankan Airlines, banks, Bank of Ceylon, People's Bank. Those are profit-oriented organizations. Custom Department. How many organizations they have? For them, nothing to worry, no. This model is as applicable as it is. Then the next category is social welfare organizations. If you look at about the social welfare organizations, this is applicable for them also. For example, pension department, government hospitals like Colombo General Hospital. This is applicable for them also. But some of the perspectives may not be applicable in full. In full being only part of them are applicable. Some of the indicators may not be applicable for them. Look at about General Hospital, for example. Can you identify gross profit, net profit, ROA with them? Earning per share, dividend per share. Can you calculate that one for them? No. That's the application, no. Customer perspective is applicable. General Hospital also look at about number of customers. They look at a number of customer complaints. They have to compare with the private sector. Through that one, they can compare whether they are performing a better service or not. Internal business also applicable for them. They look at about internal efficiency in their activities. Learning and innovation perspective is also applicable for them. But here, the main issue is connected with the financial perspective. Most of the financial indicators will not be applicable for them. Therefore, importance of financial perspective is limited for most of government organization. Here, especially for the social welfare organizations. How many people have seen that picture? Only limited number of people. Think, logically think. Then me isolately බලන්න එපා. BSc එක විතරක් ඒ frame එකත් එක්ක දැන් practical scenario එක දිහා බලන්න. Application side. This will connect වෙන්න ඕනේ. At business level, it is more important to have this application knowledge, analytical skills. If I ask from you, don't you know about that two categorization of organization? Yes, you know. Right? At the same time, you know private sector, government sector organization cover both. That fact is also available for you. But you didn't connect what you know within your answer. Isolately, you just look at about the balance scorecard. And you just talk about the model without looking about the application side. Right. Then, do I want to give an answer? Write this answer. Write this answer. There are two type of government sector organizations. Try the first one. Profit-oriented businesses. Then the number 2. Social welfare organizations. Or you can better non-profit oriented organizations. Non-profit within bracket, right? Non-profit oriented orientated organizations. Close the bracket. Then write. BSc is applicable for all public sector commercial organizations. What do commercial mean? Profit, no? Profit oriented. Commercial organizations. They can improve their performance. By using balance scorecard. by using balance scorecard. New para, however, comma, importance of BSc for non-profit orientated public sector organizations is limited. Especially most of the indicators in financial perspective are not applicable. Example, gross profit, GP, right? Gross profit, then comma net profit, then ROA, return on assets, comma EPS, earning per share, dividend per share. New para. However, new para. However, other three perspectives are applicable for them also. Example, indicators such as market share, comma number of customers, comma number of customer complaints, in customer perspective is applicable for Colombo General Hospital. Right, that's enough. Right, so with that we can complete discussion on balance scorecard, but on the total perspective of the balance scorecard. But here we discuss BSc in supply chain management. BSc in supply chain management. How can we use balance scorecard for supply chain activities. For an example, can we use GP ratio for supply chain management? These are some of the questions you have to ask. GP is a result of supply chain activity only, or is it result of total organizational activities? Total organizational activities, no? We use GP to measure the performance in supply chain management. That is not comprehensive indicator, right? Because GP is a result of total performance of the organization. Similar situation is applicable with ratio like net profit, ROE, EPS, DPS, NPS. Now the problem is, how can we use BSC in supply chain management activities? So only option is to look at about some of the cost element within supply chain processes. Right. If you look at the finance aspects, look at the financial aspects. To identify some of the cost element related with this, we'll look at about the processes we have covered within the supply chain activities. What are the processes we have covered within supply chain activities? How many main processes we cover? Inventory management, warehouse management, the logistic and distribution. Those are the three main processes we have identified within the supply chain. In relation to them, we can identify some financial indicators. For an example, inventory costs. Inventory cost is one indicator you can use under the financial perspective. Or you can say inventory management costs. There is no issue, right? Inventory cost. Then another indicator is warehouse cost. Warehouse cost. Then another one is distribution cost. Distribution costs. When you are using this one in Patrice, what organization can do is they can set target in relation to these indicators at the beginning of the year. For an example, inventory cost. So they can set a target, we say 10 million is the cost they targets. At the end of the year, they can measure the actual cost of inventory. Suppose it is 20 million. So that clearly indicate our performance in inventory management is not good. It is 2 times than plan. Right? Suppose in other way, suppose we end up with 10 million, actual cost is also 10 million, budget cost is also 10 million. So that indicate we are good in inventory management. Similar situation can be identified with other indicators. The next one is customer perspective. Now here I will face some difficulties. I can't take sales income here. You can take sales income, right? But in that scenario, it should be connected with the supply chain processes. Example, I will say we introduce new online system. Customers can make purchasing via online platform. Then accordingly, organization make arrangement to deliver good to customer locations. So in that scenario, supply chain activity is connected, no? Delivering the good to the customers' locations. This is a new one you have introduced, right? So then you can exclusively take that one. Sales income generated from new sales method. Sales income generated from new distribution method. Any other example? Number of new customers generated from new distribution methods. Number of new customers generated from new distribution method. Number of customer complaint related with supply chain processes. Number of customer complaints related with supply chain processes. Example, delay in delivery. Late delivery of goods. Then internal business perspective. Now here we want to identify some indicator connected with supply chain processes. Inventory management, we are very lucky, no? Some of the indicators we have identified here connected with supply chain processes directly. For example, stock turnover, stock resident period directly connect with the inventory management. We can easily take that too. Stock turnover, stock resident period. Stock turnover, stock resident period, perfect order fulfillment ratio, that is connect with the supply chain processes, no? Another indicator we can use, perfect order fulfillment ratio. Perfect order fulfillment. Then another indicator is lead time. So we use another with that one. What is the indicator I have given? Lead order fulfillment lead time, no? Order fulfillment lead time. Order fulfillment lead time. Under the score model, I define that one, no? Yes. Then learning and innovation perspective, here, can you say number of new product introduced to the marketplace? You can tell, right? But that should be associated with supply chain processes. For example, say online purchasing, you introduce online purchasing facility for customers. That's an example for this because it is connected with the supply chain processes. Number of new product introduced associated with supply chain processes. Number of new products introduced related with supply chain processes. Related with supply chain processes. Number of process improvement made in supply chain processes. Number of process improvement made in supply chain processes. In supply chain processes. For an example, suppose you have introduced JIT, inventory management system, replacing traditional inventory management system. There is an example for this, no? Process improvement in inventory management. Number of process improvement made in supply chain processes. Average training days for supply chain employee. Average training days for supply chain employee. Average training days for supply chain employee. With the supply chain department, we can calculate, no? How many training days they have undergone, right? Now in the exam, if the examiner is going to test a question related with supply chain performance management in balance scorecard, this is the answer you have to develop. Not this. If examiner specifically talk about the supply chain activities, right, you have to talk about this, not this. From your exam point of view, this is important. Huh? I have told you this has not been tested in your exam. That's why I discussed this one in details with you. So in financial side, I identify some indicators like inventory cost, warehouse cost, distribution cost. Those are examples I have identified. Customer side, I identify some examples, sales income generated from new distribution method. Here you can provide example if you want, like induction of online selling and delivering good to customers' locations. Induction of online selling and distributing good to customers' locations. Sales income generated from new distribution method. Then number of new customers generated from new distribution method. Number of new customers generated from new distribution method. Third one, number of customer complaints related with supply chain processes. Number of customer complaints related with supply chain processes. Example, delay in delivery. Delay in delivery. Then here, internal business perspective, stock turnover, stock resident period, perfect order fulfillment, then order fulfillment lead time, order fulfillment lead time, stock turnover, stock resident period, perfect order fulfillment ratio, then the order fulfillment lead time. I no need to use ratio word. If you want, you can use that word also. Then here, learning and innovation perspectives. The first one, number of new product introduced related with supply chain processes. Example, online purchasing and distribution good to customer locations. Number of new product introduced related with supply chain processes. The next one, number of process improvement made in supply chain processes. Example, introduction of JIT in inventory management. Number of process improvement made in supply chain processes. Example, introduction of JIT in inventory management. And the next one is average training days for supply chain employee. Average training days for supply chain employee. Right. Then look at the note. Still we are with the 6.2, no? Kaplan and Norton developed the BSE for organization as a whole. The same concept, here the keyword, right? Kaplan Norton developed the BSE for organization as a whole. එක වැදගත් වාක්‍යයක්. Organization as a whole. ඒ සම්පූර්ණ ආයතනයටම කියන එක. අදාළ වෙන තමයි මේක ඩිලිවර් කළේ කියන එක. Organization as a whole. The same concept, however, can be applied to supply chain management. A company can measure its performance using different metrics, covering each of the four performance perspective. It can then set target for performance for each of the measures and monitor performance by comparing actual result with the targets. In practice, that is the way this is used. At the beginning of the year, you set target in relation to these indicators, then you measure the actual performance. Based on that, you come to a conclusion. Then there's a question given, interesting question. Look at the questions given here. Using the balanced scorecard model, suggest one performance measurement or target for each of the 4 perspectives for application to supply chain management performance. Using the balanced scorecard model, suggest one performance measurement. That means indicator. You can mention an indicator or you can set a target. You can tell set a target by identifying some indicators for each of the 4 perspective for application to supply chain management performance. Here are some suggestions, because suggestion given by the examiner. Financial perspective, set a target for reduction in warehouse management operating costs. Is looking about the target aspects. Reduction in warehouse management operating costs. What are the other example you can provide now? Set a target for reduction in inventory management cost. Set a target for reduction in distribution costs. Those are more example you can provide. Then customer perspective. Set a target for the number of new customers placing orders through by e-procurement methods. They have identified new method. Through that you are trying to calculate number of customer orders made. We identify further example. Another example is set a target to reduce number of customer complaint related with supply chain processes. Example, delay in delivery. The business operation perspective, set a target for reducing the maximum time between receiving an order and delivering good to the customer. That is this lead time, no? Lead time indicator, no? Yes. What are the indicator you can say? Set a target to increase stock turnover, or set a target to reduce stock resident period. Set a target to improve perfect order fulfillment. More example can be provided. The learning and innovation perspective, set a time target for implementation of a new warehouse management system. Another example you can mention is set a target to introduce or to make improvement for few supply chain processes. Set a target to increase average training days for supply chain employee. Those are more example you can provide here. Then it says suitable performance measurement will vary according to the nature of the business and its operations. It will differ from one organization to another. Right. I put a star mark on that. ඒක මේ ඒරියා එකට ස්ටාර් මාක් එකක් තියාගන්න. මොකද අහලා නැහැ නේ මේ ඒරියා එක. අර ඇඩ්වාන්ටේජ් ඔෆ් ස්කෝර් මොඩල් එකයි මේ කෑල්ලයි හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ. You have to remember this. Right. Then we can move to service level agreements. Service level agreement. This has also not been tested. If examiner is going to test this one, maximum 3 to 4 marks. The theory question, no small theory questions. Service level agreements. Right. Normally, what is the reason for having an agreement? Forget about service level story. Why you want to sign an agreement with someone? You want to make sure someone is bound to condition in the agreement. That's the purpose, no? Yes. Someone is condition in the agreement. Accordingly, you have to behave. Right? Here we talk about the service level agreement. Service level agreement. So we are talking about the agreement we are going to sign with the suppliers. From a manufacturer point of view, they need to sign agreement with suppliers to ensure they get a better service from them. Right? In a service level agreement, what are the things you can include? First of all, you can explain or description of the service you expected, or explanation of the service you expected from the supplier. For an example, the raw material type you are expecting to purchase. What are different type of raw material you want to purchase? Then approximate amount you expect in a particular year. Right? Those can be included within this. Then you can identify some KPIs, or in other words, performance measures, to evaluate the performance of the supplier. For an example, perfect order fulfillment. You can set a target on that. For example, you can say target is 90%. Then order fulfillment lead time. Order fulfillment lead time. Lead time, you say 2 days. But you can identify some measures to monitor the performance of the supplier. Right? Then supplier know when these are included in the agreement, they know they want to make sure this ratio stay at 90%. At the same time, they want to deliver the good within 2 days. They have the required knowledge. And at the same time, you have to include consequence of failure to meet condition in the agreements. What are the problem supplier has to face if they have failed to meet the condition in the agreement? For an example, If they have failed to maintain perfect order fulfillment ratio at 90%, what are the consequences they want to face? For example, 5% reductions. Like that. Right? Here also same example. If you delay the order, 5% reductions from the total bill amount. Consequences should be included. ප්‍රතිවිපාක කියන එක නේ consequences කියලා කියන්නේ මුහුණ දෙන්න සිද්ධ වෙන ප්‍රතිවිපාක කියන එක. Right? Consequences. Then another one is procedure to be applied regarding the complaints regarding the customers. What is the procedure you want to apply regarding the complaints of the customer, complaint of the supplier? For example, in some organization you appoint a small committee to do that. Maybe someone in senior management, at the same time purchasing manager. So they may be in the committee and they will discuss what they can do for the supplier. Another one is cancellation procedure, agreement cancellation procedure. So oftenly, for example, you may include time period where the notice should be given. 1 month notice in advance. Right? You have to provide it in advance, no? So that also may be included here. Right? Cancellation procedure. So if one party want to cancel the agreement, they have to inform the other party in advance. I will say, for example, 1 month in advance. Right? This is not a difficult one. No need to memorize. Today itself you can finish this. Now look at theory notes. Service level agreements. Given the importance of companies collaborating and working together within the supply chain, it is also important for companies to be able to measure and manage the performance of key partners within the supply chain. Key partners within the supply chain, like suppliers, no? Example. A key issue will be whether upstream suppliers are delivering the agreed quantity and quality of good or service on time. Is that word upstream suppliers or downstream suppliers? Upstream or downstream? Earlier in the supply chain we identify as upstream, no? Correct, no? Suppliers normally perform earlier activity, no? In order to measure whether the suppliers are meeting such requirement, the requirement must have to be established. One way of doing this for regular supply to the company is to agree a formal agreement. A service level agreement should include an explanation of the service the supplier has agreed to provide and detail of any information the company has agreed to provide the supplier. The benchmark or metrics that will be used to measure the supplier's performance, these may include specification for delivery time, quality, quantities and so on. Those are KPIs, no, in other words. I give example. Right? KPI is like what are the example? Perfect order fulfillment lead time. Those are some of the examples. Then the consequences of failure by the supplier to perform to the agreed level of standard. For example, reduction from the total bill value. Then procedure for dealing with any complaint arising from the actual level of performance provided and expected response time for responding to any queries or complaint raised. Sometimes you may appoint a committee to look after the matter like that. Then procedure for cancelling the contract between the parties in the event of continuing failure to achieve the required performance level. Example, 1 month prior notice, like that. Once a service level agreement is in place, both parties have a structure against which to measure their performance in the relationship and to assess whether a satisfactory level of performance is being achieved. That is very simple one. So with that we can complete the theory part in full. Then any question we have not attempted? 9.1, have we done 2 questions? Question number 1 and 2? Yes or no? No. Right, then select that 2. 9.2, I think question number 1 we have done. No. No. Then question number 1, 2, not done. 3 done. Right. 4 also done, no? 5 done. 6 also done. 7, 8 done. No. 8 not done. Then select 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I think we have done it. Yes. Then 15, yes. Yes, we have done, no? 15. 16, yes. 17 also done. 18, yes, we have done. 19, 20 done. 21 done, no? 22 done, 23 done, 24 done, 25 done, 26 done. Are they kala No, 6 not done. Select 6, 26 also. 26, 27. Yes, we have done. Not done. Then select 27 also. 28 we have done. 29, select 29. 30 not done. Done. Select 30, then 31, 32 also, 33 also, 34 done, no? 36 done, 35 also done, 37 is also done. Then true and false question not done. Select all 9 questions. No, 11 questions. There are 11 questions. Next week we'll start marketing, right? Normally it will take 6 weeks to complete marketing session. Please make sure you participate for the marketing sessions because 25 marks are tested from marketing area. So if you have missed out some area, then you will lose 25 marks. Right, shall I go through the questions? 9.1, fill in the blank questions. A company is able to create a monopoly for production of an electronic device by obtaining a 5-year patent. In terms of competitive business strategy, the patent is a unique resource. Unique resource providing competitive advantage. However, this competitive advantage is not sustainable. Can't have it forever. Right, sustainable. Using RFID to tag individual item or manufactured item for tracking purposes is not common practice. This is because RFID tagging of individual item is not usually cost effective. Price is very high. Oh, you can use the word not cheaper. It's not cheap or cost effective. Price is high, no? Of RFID tags. Then 9.2, minimizing inventory levels may be inconsistent with reliability of supply. No, if you reduce, then it affects the reliability. Question number 2, a shorter supply lead time for deliveries of material from supplies can add value because it reduce the amount of inventory required. No, so you can take the inventory very quickly. No. Question number 8. When an organization owns its supply, it is known as should be upstream vertical integrations. Upstream vertical integration. B. Nine, I think we have done, no? No? Yes. What is the next question? 9 answer is all of the above. D. Right. 10 we have done, 11, 12 we have done, 13, 14 we have done, 15? Yes, we have done, no? 16, 18, 17 we have done at the same level as the other major functions, no? D is the answer. Then 18, if two potential suppliers can deliver part with the same quality and prices, the success should be based on D, no? The capabilities and flexibilities of the firms. Just-in-time purchasing require the following conditions. C, no? Cooperation between purchasing and suppliers. 20, the amount of inventory kept at each stock point in the warehouse network is usually based on C, no? Trade-off between warehouse and transportation cost. Then question number 26. The use of information technology to automate business processes, business transaction is known as e-commerce, no? E-commerce. Then 27, what is the most difficult of all the activity that operation and supply chain personnel for home? Should be relationship management. B. Then 29, balance scorecard examine firm performance in all the following critical areas except competitors. D. 30, a supply chain include all the following processes except promoting. No. C. Inventory level is not a key performance indicator for measuring supply chain performance. D. 31. 31D. Not a key indicator, no. Is not a. Then 32, all of the following are key performance metrics used for supply chain management except number of suppliers. D. The fraction of orders filled by distribution center warehouse is called fill rate. B. You may not be able to answer, that's okay. Right. Then 9.3, first one, the supply chain is defined as the group of firms that provide all processes required to make a finished product available to the customer. True. Second question, SCM can include having supply actually on site producing product or service in a manufacturing facility. False, no? No, not on site, no. Then SCM supply should be viewed as partners. True. For information, goods and services flow both upstream and downstream in a supply chain. Information is okay. Good also, if return is there, that's okay. But service, there's a issue, no? Can't go in other way, no? Anyway, we'll take true. Two are correct, no? True. Then number 5, days of supply is calculated by dividing average aggregate inventory by cost of goods sold per day. True, no? Days of supply means stock resident period, in other words. Inventory turnover is calculated by dividing the cost of goods sold by average aggregate value of inventory. True. The opposite of the ratio, no? 7, suppliers are both downstream and upstream members of a supply chain. False, no? Because of the evolution of information technology, globalization has had little impact on supply chain management. False. High impact, no? Number 9, in general, the goal of supply chain management is providing customer satisfaction. True. A. Number 10, an area of information technology that supports supply chain integration involves the adoption of new business model and technologies. True. 11, one way members of a supply chain cope with uncertainties, reduce inventory level. No. Opposite should be, no? False. Today you can participate to repeat session also. Right. Next week we'll have Saturday afternoon session also. And Sunday we'll start marketing part.